Hello everybody, welcome back to this video today. I want to talk about a chart here that not many people are giving enough attention to, and I haven't seen many people even bring this up to people's attention. This chart that you're looking in front of you right now is the gold-silver ratio. It's going to tell you whether or not gold or silver is going to outperform on a percentage basis. Now, since the March 2020 crash when silver went down to $11 during that big smackdown event when everything got a wide pan sell-off, oil went to $0 briefly before bouncing back, many other commodities also got smacked down. The gold-silver ratio spiked to just a bit over 125 ounces. So 125 ounces of silver brought you 1 ounce of gold, or essentially swapped if you were to do a swap trade deal with somebody, vice versa. So if you had 1 ounce of gold, it got you 125 ounces of silver if you swapped your ounce of gold for silver. Now this ratio is currently sitting at 78. As you can see, this trading pattern is called a symmetrical triangle. Now, which way is it going to break? Well, it is currently breaking to the downside. Now, if we get a candle, weekly candle, monthly candle close below where we are currently sitting as we speak at around 78.5, I do believe silver is going to outperform dramatically over the coming weeks to months. Now, we have essentially been in this pattern for 3 years. So a lot of people have been washed out of the trade. They've given up. Now, just to mention, I just want to bring this up to everyone's attention. This ratio went from 100, just a bit over 125 down to 62. So this ratio chart went down a whopping 50%. So silver outperformed gold by more than, just a bit over 50% on a performance basis, on a percentage basis. So silver rallied a hell of a lot more rather than gold did from the March lows. Now, this candle here, when silver topped out the Wall Street silver crowd over at Reddit, when they were doing this hashtag silver squeeze movement, so they were draining the COMEX and the LBMA, so far, very, very successful. It's down over 70% this silver vaults. That candle was the top. So when silver briefly wicked above $30 in the silver squeeze movement, that's when the gold silver ratio bottomed. You also had a bullish divergence from this low to this low, the RSI, you had a bullish divergence. And so far, as you can see, over the last 2 years, it's been going up. So gold has been outperforming silver over that period of time. Now, I do think that is going to change. As you can see, like I mentioned before, silver is currently breaking down here. If we flip over to the weekly smaller term time frame, you can see this week, if we do close this candle like this, on Monday, we're going to open up, and if we, pump up to around 79, gets resistance, this is going to look very, very bullish for silver in the short term. So, for example, if we were to drop down to, let's say, this low around 75, we pump back up to around the apex of this wedge here, we could see a hell of a further drop, potentially down to 70, and then, maybe even sweep the low here, because as I mentioned before, this was a 50% drop. So I want to leave this video very short and sweet. I do believe silver is going to outperform gold on a relative basis. I do think the metal is heavily, manipulated, but I also do think on a historical basis, it is super cheap. I made a chart, I made a video about the silver junior miners before. I will leave a link to the video description so you guys can watch that exact same video. I made it. I do think silver miners, they've been underperforming silver here for the last 3 years. They've been in this downsloping channel, and I do think the silver junior miners are going to outperform silver once we get all these signs in the charts saying that it's going to break down. Silver's going to outperform, and I thus think that the silver junior miners will even outperform the silver price. So if silver goes up, 5%, and also the silver junior mining ETF that I mentioned, it's gone up around 10 to 11% from when I made that video. So I want to, shine this chart here. I do think nobody's really talking about it. I want to tell you guys first, because I do think this will be all the fuss, this chart, over the weeks and, coming months. So anyway, guys, I hope this chart was very informative. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the very next video. GDXJ out. Peace.